Welcome to the deep dive. Okay, so today we're looking at something pretty important, maybe even a little uncomfortable for some folks in crypto. What actually happens to your digital assets, after you die?
Yeah, it's crucial. Not morbid, really, just responsible planning. It's about making sure your loved ones aren't left locked out.
Exactly. Because we get so caught up in the games, the tech, all that, but maybe not the what if,
Absolutely. And the core problem, I mean, it's baked into crypto itself, isn't it?
right? If you don't have a plan, that crypto could genuinely be lost, like forever.
Yep. There's no bank to call, no forgot my password link for your private keys.
None of that. Lose the keys, lose the coins. End of story.
And that's the whole point of self-custody, right? You
Yeah.
have the control, which is great, but you also have all the responsibility,
Yeah.
including for what happens long term.
And this isn't some tiny niche problem either. The scale is, well, it's huge.
Oh, yeah.
I saw a statistic, something like by 2020, they estimated over 4 million Bitcoin were just gone, permanently lost.
Wow.
And a significant chunk of that was supposedly because owners passed away and, well, nobody else knew how to get in.
And think about that on the blockchain.
Mm.
Those coins are still technically there, visible on the ledger, but just frozen,
Yeah.
completely inaccessible forever because the keys are gone. It's kind of mind-bending.
It really is. And to put a real face on it, you just have to look at that Gerald Cotton story, Quadra KCX.
Oh, definitely. That was a huge wake-up call.
He was the only one who held the private keys for the exchange's gold wallets. The only one.
Unbelievable, really.
And when he died, suddenly, boom, over, $250 million in crypto customer funds just vanished, locked away.
Exactly. It wasn't even just his own assets. It showed how catastrophic it can be and how honestly avoidable this all is with a bit of planning. It really forced the issue into the spotlight.
So, okay, that brings us to the solutions. What are people actually doing? What can they do?
Well, things are evolving. We're starting to see some dedicated solutions pop up. One interesting area is what you might call crypto wills. These aren't traditional wills, but more like digital services. They're designed to securely store your wallet info, your keys, access instructions, whatever,
Okay.
and then release that information to your designated beneficiaries, but only after your death has been legally verified.
Ah, like a dead man switch, digitally speaking.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
There are projects working on this, names like Safe Haven, Casa with their Covenant service, Inherity. They're trying to tackle this specific problem.
Okay, that makes sense. A secure digital vault that unlocks under specific conditions. What else?
Another strong technical approach is using multi-signature wallets, or multi-sig.
Right, heard of those, where you need more than one key.
Exactly. So you could set it up so that, say, accessing the funds requires approval from maybe 2 out of 3 people, perhaps yourself, your spouse, and your lawyer, for instance. After you're gone, the remaining key holders, like your spouse and lawyer, could provide their keys along with, legal proof like a death certificate to access the funds together.
So it builds in redundancy and a check and balance system. Shared control, essentially.
Precisely. It prevents any single person from acting alone, both during your life and after.
And then there's the almost amusingly simple option, the really low-tech one.
Yes. Sometimes the old ways are still relevant, even in crypto. Just, writing down your private keys or your seed phrase,
Pen paper.
pen and paper. Maybe etch it onto metal, something durable. Store it somewhere incredibly secure, like a fireproof safe, maybe even multiple locations, or with a trusted lawyer.
And crucially, making sure someone knows it exists and where to find it may be referenced in your actual traditional will.
Absolutely, the instructions are key. But yeah, physical backup, securely stored, can be surprisingly robust. Just got to nail the physical security part.
It is quite the contrast, isn't it? This super advanced digital asset potentially relying on a piece of paper in a safe for its succession.
It really underscores that you need a layered approach, Thinking about both the digital side and the physical reality of passing information on. It's forcing a rethink of some basic estate planning ideas in this new digital context.
Yeah, and you can totally see why this gets pushed to the back burner for a lot of crypto holders.
How so?
Well, the demographics, right? A lot of people in the space are younger. They're focused on the now, the accumulation, the potential upside. Estate planning feels like something for later, much later.
That is a really critical point. The focus is often on growth, not preservation or succession, especially for younger investors. But the risk of losing access isn't tied to age, is it? accidents happen. The unexpected happens.
Hmm.
So there's definitely an education piece needed within the community, helping people understand that this planning isn't just for the elderly. It's part of responsible ownership at any age.
And it loops right back to that fundamental principle of crypto. Self-custody. Be your own bank.
Exactly. You have the power, you have the control, but that means you also have the responsibility for its entire life cycle, even beyond your own.
No one else is going to manage it for you, during life or after.
Right. And, thinking bigger picture for a second, it kind of prompts the question of what wealth really means. Is it just having the assets?
Or is it also ensuring they're secure and can actually benefit the people you care about, even when you're not around?
That's it. Securing it for the next generation or whoever you intend it for. That feels like part of the definition, too.
So maybe the final thought for everyone listening is pretty direct. A question to ask yourself tonight.
Okay.
If you hold crypto and you didn't wake up tomorrow, does anyone else on the planet know how to access it? Your spouse, your kids, a lawyer, anyone?
That's sobering.
And if the honest answer is no, or even, I'm not sure, well, maybe it's time to figure that out. Because true wealth maybe includes planning for its future, too.